There we go. I am so excited to invite my next guest to the show, someone that I met in Las Vegas at the Power of Pink, Baroness Dr. Scott-Dentley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Cindy.
Oh, I'm so excited to dive into today's conversation. And there's a lot to unlock here because as I was reading through your bio and everything that you do, you are a busy lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you share a little bit about your background and where you come from and what's brought you to who you are today?
But good question. So as you mentioned, I am Baroness Dr. Scott-Dentley. I am from the South Side of Chicago. My background, I'm a scientist, but ultimately I'm just another girl. And the scientific part came in, like most of us, we're curious. And we want to know. And I allowed that to drive me through my academic success to just ask the question, well, why? And I can recall many times when my professors would want me to do research with them because I was the one that would dig deep. Why? Why? Like a child, how kids are like, but why? That was me.
Yeah.
And so just curious. And, the word science itself is the root word is sire. The Latin word is sire, and it means to know. So I always look at that and I allow that to really orchestrate the way that I make decisions, the way that I operate my life, because there are so many laws that are natural laws that are at play all the time. And they're backed by science.
Yes.
And I feel like once people know these laws, then they will understand and have a better idea of how to operate their lives. And it will make such a huge impact on what they do and how they do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I am a certified universal laws coach, so I get the laws and I understand how the laws work. So I'll never forget when I heard you start speaking about it on stage, I was like, oh my God, this is my woman. I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit about, you're a scientist. So of course you were asking why, but how do these universal laws tie into our day-to-day life? How do we figure out how to play by them?
There's always this quantum side, right? You have classic. So I'm a physicist, right? Yeah. I'm a physicist and a geospatial analyst. So I have 2 scientific degrees. So every time I would come across a scientific law or a principle or a theory, I'm like, oh my God, this is life. Yeah. So with like quantum, right? For example, and I differentiate between quantum and classical, with classical being Newtonian, meaning that is yes or no, it's black or white, it's up or down. Quantum is everything in between.
Right.
It's something that you don't see.
Yes.
And so even in decision making, and I see it a lot when people make decisions, they don't realize that there's always the gray area. There's always the residual behind a decision that you make. So even in relationships or what have you, people think about just right now, this is how I feel right now. And it's like, wait, there's so much other blended area with the energy that comes behind a decision that you made that you're not even taking that into consideration. And so I teach my son that in so many different ways, and he's 11. And, he's so wise because I've always allowed that to just drive the discussion. I'm not one to hit them and pop them. It is not necessary. If you get them to elevate their consciousness and their level of thinking, then they will start to see things from a broader perspective. I'm speaking of children, which turn into adults, obviously, differently. So when we're making these decisions, you can't just be so cut and dry in the moment because of what happens in the interim between, because energy, there are no boundaries. We think that there are, even with between people, we think that there are boundaries, but your energy can be felt beyond, they say 6 feet, but it's beyond 6 feet out.
Mm-hmm.
And, and once people start to understand that, they'll start to understand why when they go in certain rooms, they feel a certain way. Why when they're around certain people, they're happy or they're sad or whatever, because you're feeding off of each other's energy. Why when you go into certain places, you're excited or all of a sudden you feel depressed or down. It happens in restaurants. It happens when you go to relatives' houses.
Mm-hmm.
It happens with everything because energy, as you know, can neither be created nor destroyed. It's only transferred. And that is with everything. And so if you start to understand that one thing about laws is that they really, I mean, it's here on earth, I'll say, they're set in stone. It is what it is. The law of gravity, it is what it is. There's no questioning that. It's not a theory where you can question it and it's still waiting on someone to solidify it. It is what it is. And so when I think about these different principles and these laws, I'm just like, if more people understood that, which is what I talk about in my book, the keys to governing your greatness with science. And it talks about just unlocking the blueprint of intention. Because if you are intentional with your life, then that's how you get the life that you want. Most people don't get the life that they want because they don't know what they want.
Right.
And that starts from childhood, and I allow my son to make so many decisions with guidance, of course. But I allowed that because if you don't learn how to make decisions, you'll never know how to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so interesting with everything, and it starts with the children, because all of us are just children that turn into adults somewhere along the way. We look up, we're like, wait, I'm 21. Like, what does that mean? Wait, I'm not in high school. I have to get a job. Like, what does that mean? What do I want to do? I don't know. And I'm sure there are some of your listeners out there that are probably in that predicament, just like, life just happens.
Yeah.
And you have so much thrown at you at one time, and life can become overwhelming if you don't understand how to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And, you just have to, you have to go within and know what it is that you want. Like, you and what you want and what wants you is all one. And that's what people mean by knowing your truth, and not needing to validate any of it.
Yes. Yes. I want to talk about
not looking for someone. There you go.
So you brought this book up. So if you're listening to the audio of this podcast, you can't see that I'm holding up this book. I have a signed copy. I'm so excited about it. So this book, Unlocking the Blueprint of Intention. Kara, can you tell me what exactly is intention and how do people actually live intentionally?
Intention is knowing the end result that you want, and basing everything on that. Your decisions, the company that you keep, the environment that you're in. If you know that your intention, and I'm just using this as an example because most of us can relate. If you want to stay healthy,
yep.
You don't make your way to the ice cream shop every day.
Yes.
Because that kind of goes against your intention. So every decision that you make should be driven by your intention.
Mm-hmm.
Every single decision, because, people think that it's just that one decision. They think it's that one cigarette that may cause cancer. They think it's that one burger that will cause them to gain weight. No, it's you letting up on your intention, not being direct, not being absolute. And now all of a sudden that one burger turned into 3 or 4 because it's not one. And people say anything is good in moderation, but the body and the way that the hormones work in the body, it causes us to crave. Mm-hmm. And we start to give ourselves permission. And it's not just that one, it's everything within us. So yes, I look like I'm one whole person, and I am. But within me, there are individual cells that have a brain of their own.
Right.
that can help drive decisions. So if I let up and I'm like, okay, it's okay for me to have that Haagen-Dazs. Next thing I know, the next night, I'm like, well, and sometimes it gets to a point because your hormones are now driving you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop it because you've let up off of your intention. So you have to be, very direct and absolute with what it is that you want. But the first step is, what do you want?
Yeah, you can't get there if you don't know what it is.
You're just wandering, right? You're aimlessly shopping. And you'll wind up with everything. And most people do wind up with everything. They wind up with any and everything in relationships. They wind up with any and everything in as far as their careers. They wind up with any and everything as far as what they eat. They wind up with any and everything as far as what they drive, where they live, because they're just wandering because they don't know.
Right.
And if you don't know, there's nothing or no one else out there that can help you. But we come in here equipped with what we're supposed to have and who we're supposed to be. Abundance is our birthright.
Mm-hmm.
Lack is created out of fear and all of these other man-made things that we implement on ourselves and other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, doubt, worry, like those things are created. If you've ever watched a child in any capacity without having been, you know, tainted by the world or jaded, they're free. They feel like they are inhibited. They could do anything. They can climb. They would jump off of the top flight of some stairs, expecting mama, daddy, grandma, somebody gonna catch me.
Grow
Even if they
wings
don't
or
see it.
something.
Yeah, they grow wings. They're like, yo, I'm out here. I'm flying. You know, and we'll laugh the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Just so free about it because they don't have those inhibitions. As far as friends, they know how to connect with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally. They will look a person up and down and no.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll look and they'll be like friends, you
Yeah.
know, just start playing with kids. And so we innately know. We innately know. And it's those things that we have to get back to just trusting ourselves
Yes.
and know that you
Yes.
know without a shadow of a doubt what is best for you. You know what it is that you want. When I see people asking people like, is this cute? Wait a minute. If somebody else if it's cute. Like you don't need that validation because there are certain things you will go in the store and be like, oh, this is absolutely cute. I don't care who says it's not. I'm taking this home with me. Matter of fact, I want to wear it tonight. I'm popping the tags. But that little inkling of doubt, that means that's no.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you haven't been taught how to make decisions properly, which is why you have CEOs that make the money that they make because they make decisions that they're not necessarily always the right decision, but they know how to make a decision.
Yes.
And that's intention. That's intention and being able to pivot and code switch when you need to. But see, those are things that we have to start teaching at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many things. Even in my book, I talk about it like there's no competition, there's only collaboration. That's in the book.
Yeah.
Because competition, that's a different type of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to feel like this other person is not a part of you. I feel like everybody is a part of me. So I'm gonna love you because I love me.
Right? Exactly. I love that so much. One of the things that you said when we were in Vegas together was you were speaking about your son. You've brought your son up a few times today. He's 11. He's a grand chess master. Is that correct?
He is aspiring to be a grand chess master. He's a champ. Everywhere he goes and plays chess, he's just like it. I think, yeah, he was born with that. I don't know where he got it from.
Right. I love that. But one of the things that you said while you were speaking on stage was that you speak life over your son. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Oh, day in and day out. See, we get into a habit of allowing, we think that we're bringing out the best in a person when we're, bringing up their downfalls. And yes, you want the best for a person, obviously, right? But you want them to always hear you speaking positively about them, even if it's them overhearing it. Now, of course, we want to say it to their face. Hopefully, those of you who are listening, you're always speaking positive and not breaking anybody's spirit. And I mean, nobody, friends, family, spouses, whatever. You're always speaking positively to their face, but you also want them to overhear you speaking positively
I love that. Yes. Even when you're talking behind their back, it should still be positive.
Yes. Yes. And because that does something for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It touches the spirit in such a way, and we have the ability to uplift a nation. You know, I feel like everybody is everybody is doing their best with what they have and with what they know.
Yes.
And you know, and so if you start to look at everybody and just really feel like that, then you'll start to treat people the way that they need to be treated, because there's a saying that says, if you treat a man or woman as they are, they will remain as they are. But if you treat them as they should be, they will become what they could be.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always want to elevate. And so with my son, you know, once he told me what he wanted to do, you know, he was like, "Mom, I want to be a grand chess master," you know. And I asked him, because he played basketball, you know, I said, "Do you want me to enroll you in basketball again?" He said, "No, because it's going to distract me from chess. I need to focus on chess. You know, I'm going to become a grandmaster. I'll be 12. You know, I have to do it when I'm 12." And I'm like, okay. So I don't take them off of that path.
No.
Too many times as parents, we're like, "No, that's not going to work. You need to go over here and do what everyone else is doing." And
Right.
so when he said that, I was like, okay. So he was, you know, asleep, or at least acting like he was asleep or something. And I'm just in his ear and I'm like, "Caden, you are the greatest chess player there is. And you're a grandmaster." And I'm just speaking over him. And I could just feel his energy, like he's moving. And all in his subconscious mind, I'm just speaking all into him. And then he just started smiling. Still laying there asleep. And I'm just like, "Give a round of applause to Kaden." Yeah. You know, like it was like an announcement, right? And from there, it was like, he just, I mean, every contest, but we can all do it. But you have to speak life into the soul of another human being. Because you have to understand, we talked about energy. That's all I operate on. Every single thing, everything is energy. Even your emotions, that's energy, and it targets certain organs and everything. So you want to make sure that you know, that's the part that we can do.
Yeah.
That's what we can do for one another. So yes, just as easy as it is to speak negative and say, "Why is she doing that? Oh, she thinks she's cute. Oh, look at her hair. Oh, why is she wearing those shoes? I would never." Just like I could say that, I could always just be like, "Oh, you know, I love your outfit. I love your hair," you know, and just, man, just really, because we exist in this time and space with each other right now. That's on purpose, intentional. That's the way that God planned it, the universe, whatever it is that you want to go by. We're here. What legacy are we leaving as for this time frame? Like, what will go down in history?
Right.
Yeah. And we get to choose that.
We get to choose.
We get to choose.
All goosebumpy.
Just be like, "You are phenomenal." Because, man, I have seen people's whole entire faces and energy change by just something that was said.
Yeah.
And it's not just what's said, it's the energy behind what's said. Like, I can't sit here and speak positively and have a grim face and be like, "Everything is great." You know,
You're faking.
I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking and I'm rolling with it, you know? So, and we get to choose that.
Yeah.
So if a person comes in and they don't have that, I get to transfer my energy to them.
Yes.
Like, "You got this."
What
I feel
a
like
gift.
each individual, when we go into an event, we get to elevate the whole event because we are the event.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. You're getting me all fired up. Oh my God. I love it. Energy transfers through Zoom as well. I love it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the things you're doing. You've got a lot of projects on the go. You're running a nonprofit with your amazing husband. You are the Life by Cara brand as well. I want to talk about your hula hoops. And you're in a documentary. Where do you want to start there? It's a lot.
It all goes together. We could talk about the nonprofit. So Already Always Amazing is our nonprofit, and it's to help bridge the gap between the individuals and the organizations that need certain resources. So we specifically is for women, children, veterans, and seniors. And there's so many there's so many programs that are out there, but many times the people who need them aren't in contact or don't know how to connect with the people who have the resources. So we help to bridge that gap. And it started because in the city of Chicago, especially during the summer months, I mean, you all see the news. It's a lot going on. There's a lot that children can get into. And I'm grateful because I could have fallen prey in so many instances. And, but I had that reassurance from my parents that always told me I could do it, and so, yes, I had the opportunity to to fall victim to many different things. And many times I was in the environment, but I always would hear my parents' voices in the back of my mind. So to allow and have those resources for the children, for them to get access to mentorship, to allow them to have access to a full course meal during the summer months, because some of them, they don't have access to food. Potato chips is the name of the game. If it's not in the house, you get, it used to be 25 cents to go get a bag of chips. Now it's like $1. 25 cents no 5 bag. But giving them access to that, and then we also allow them to write their own books. We put them in a program so that they could rewrite the narrative of what does life look like for you? Be intentional. What does that look like?
I love that.
Because some of them come from tumultuous environments, and it looks grim. They don't have the positivity around them. Mm-hmm. So, giving them the opportunity to just write their story. And when they finish, we take them, actually, them and a parent, chaperone, to Disney World with per diem and everything, so that they can have a good time, because some of them would never get out of Chicago if they weren't aware that they could, and B, given the opportunity. So those are just some of the things that we do through our nonprofit.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that so much. And, a little bit about my story, being an ex-cocaine addict, and just giving people that way out, that possibility, speaking life over them and telling them that they can get out. I think that's so important.
Yeah. It's so, oh, baby, we could talk about that all day long, because like addiction comes from a place that's a hormone. That comes from it's hormonal. And girl, this is a whole different conversation. But even with alcohol, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be food. It's filling a void.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
It is definitely filling a void. And that's why so many times you can have people that would try weed or try cocaine or alcohol, but it doesn't fill that void. And it goes against, and it feels awkward, as opposed to like filling a void. And they're like, hold up. And that's why you have some people could try it and never touch it again.
Yes.
You have some people try it, and it's like, wow, this is what I'm, it's doing something for me. It's giving me that feeling.
Yeah.
That feel good. It's replacing it. So, and that's why being in a space where you're just uplifting each other, where we're filling that void for each other.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
So yeah. And the earlier the better, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that was the key for me, is my mom just kept saying, I love you, but I don't love your actions. And it was that love that she had for me that got me out. It wasn't the tough love and rehab or anything like that. I never even went to rehab. It was constant speaking love over me all the time. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Mamas know, baby. Mamas know.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So tell me a little bit about this documentary that you're about to be in.
Yeah, so it's called Beyond Physical Matter. Lord, we talk about energy, and it's not just me. Obviously, there are, several other people who really deep dive into quantum medicine, quantum physics, just that whole world of quantum energy, and how you can heal yourself, how it is mind over matter, but it's a lot more than that. It's a lot deeper, and just operating in that space and allowing other people to know that you too have this, and you have access. This energy is within you. And I used to always say, because I love my keys, right? I wear my keys, but I always yes, yeah, part of my passion, because it's I used to always say the keys give us access, but really we are the key.
Yes.
We are the key.
Yes.
And we have access, we are the access to everything. And until people can realize that for themselves, sometimes we have to be the access for them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So so that's what the documentary, it deep dives into just the world of the energy. And so it's beyond physical matter. We have the launch in January, the last weekend of January in Ontario, California. So Ontario, Irvine, same area. If you look up Beyond Physical Matter and you want to attend, yes, the premiere, the information is there, but they're so close. Like, you know, the documentary is put on by Don and Melinda Boyer. They live in Ontario, but last time we had it in Irvine, California. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
And you know what I love the most is, you don't see a lot of doctors, scientists speaking to the quantum, speaking to that healing energy, and that we have the ability to do a lot of this healing work ourselves. I feel like there's been this weird disconnect between Western medicine and what's possible. So I love that you guys are doing this. I think it's so profound. So I'm going to make sure the audience knows where to find this documentary. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Love it. I love it. All right, so tell us about hula hoops.
Baby, my hula hoop, I have my own as a scientist, right? So there are many different weighted hula hoops out there. And I'm looking over here because I have my hula hoop with me.
Yep.
And it's really big, actually.
It's massive. Yeah.
It's massive. And so the hula hoop is, it's something fun. Right. You can remember from being a kid, and I love to I see the light in people's faces when they see it. They're like, oh my God, is that a hula hoop? I remember when I used to hula hoop. People in their 70s, 80s, 60s, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Small kids, everybody get excited about the hula hoop. And what I like about it is that it's a way to work out without doing any damage to your joints. It gets you moving. This particular one, because its weight is 3.5 pounds, it trims your waistline, which we all love that idea. Oh, yes, right. It helps to release toxins. It has magnetic. So if you see these nodes right here, these are magnetic nodes. And so it helps with your balance. And it also helps to release stagnation around the belly area. And yes, because of those incremental movements and because of how you have to hold your body when you hula hoop, it helps trim your hips.
Yep.
People think like, well, what all do you do? I'm like, I hula hoop. And I teach a hula hoop class on Zoom. We do it 30 minutes, but we don't just hula hoop. We'll hula hoop like 3 minutes at a time, full song straight through. And then we use the hoop as a weight. We'll do curls, we'll do lifts, and we're in and out. And these women are coming back like, oh my gosh.
Right?
My body. I'm like, yeah. And the cool thing about it snaps apart. So as you see, the colors are alternating. It snaps apart and you can pack it. So I'm always packing my hula hoop and taking it with me.
Yeah, I saw you had it at the event. It was all packed in a suitcase. I'm like, that's pretty smart. I love that. Oh, so good. So good. Well, Kara, I want to ask you, you've got your hands in a lot of different projects. You are working on so many different things. How do you keep going?
I just don't stop. And what I mean by don't stop, I don't burn myself out. I'm going to tell you that. Yes. Because that doesn't work for anybody. That affects your immune system, your entire body. And I am healthy as an ox. Okay. So I make sure that I even if I have to slow down, like Dr. King said, even if you have to go to a walk or a crawl, just don't stop. And you just keep going, and whatever that means to you, because I find that I get bursts of energy when it's like go time, right? There are times when I know I need to all the way down throttle, shut my phone down, put it to the side, and I'm going to take a walk. So my keep going is being true to me. It's not keeping going because of what everybody else feel like I need to do. When I was in school, I was doing everything, and I just felt like, oh, but they need me. Oh, I'm on the student board, and I'm a student rep for the board of trustees for the whole school. On the dance team, I have all of my studies, and they need me. And I found myself having all types of stomach issues, still healthy, fit, right? Yeah. But my body was toxic.
Yeah.
because I wasn't regular, you know. So a lot of times you have to know you. And so now I do things that make sense for me.
Yeah.
It has to make sense for me. And so it makes it easier to keep going on the path of moving forward when it's stuff that I want to do.
Right. That makes so much sense.
Who would have known, right? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So everybody's out here doing things that they think that other people think that they should do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what had me sick.
Right.
And I didn't even know I was sick because nobody else could feel what I was feeling. I was just on this constant go, 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 go. But I was like, it was all for everybody else.
Everybody else instead of you. Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I want a hula hoop. You want to hula hoop with me? Join my class. You know,
Right.
like this is what I'm doing. This is my workout. Join me. You
Yeah.
know, the book, people want to talk, and I'll do, I would have a call every morning, shoot, for like the past 7 years of just speaking truth.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, wow, but that was just speaking my truth. It was just speaking the truth as I knew it,
Right.
and if it makes sense and it resonates with you, come join me.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much that's what it is. And I would say like the main thing for me right now, because I could be all over the world.
Yeah.
I know that I could be all over the world at any given time, but I know when to shut it down
Mm-hmm.
because I do have an 11-year-old son that I can't lose. you
Yes.
know. And sometimes people, especially as moms or parents, period, we get so busy, we lift our finger off the post, and then we come back and we're like, who are you?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
What just happened?
what just happened? Like, wait a minute, especially at this age, 11.
Mm-hmm.
So critical. Hormones, puberty, all of that good stuff. It's there. So that's what's important to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't let anything pull me away from what's important
Yeah.
to me.
Yes. Yeah. It's again bringing it back to intention, right? It's being intentional and living by your values of what's most important to you. So, and what I'm hearing and what you're saying, because you're doing a lot of things and there's a lot of moving pieces and all this stuff, you're not afraid of hard work. It's just that you're doing the work that you love.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's it. Intentional, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So there are certain parts of the different things that we do that I know is not my role, and I leave that to somebody else who will be better at it than me.
Yes.
So I don't get caught up in things that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I know that sounds so simple, but I mean, we could learn a lot from these little kids.
Right.
Because if it's something they don't want to do, they're not doing it.
Exactly.
They will cross them arms and turn their back.
I don't want to unlock that door. I don't fit in that door.
Really, I'm not doing that. And we need to stop, we need, because we do get to create our own reality. And instead of telling people, well, life is hard. Whose life is hard?
Yeah.
I would not tell my child that. No, it's not. Life is what you make it.
Yes. Life is hard if you make it hard.
It's hard if you make it hard. I remember I had a teacher tell me physics is really hard. I'm like, you're the teacher. You're supposed to smooth this out. Wait a minute. This is my major. I'm like, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to come through the door saying, look, I'm about to simplify this for you.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Right. And so we get to choose that. We get to choose our words. We get to choose when things happen, how we interpret it, how we define it. What does this mean? And if we mean, oh my God, the meaning, oh, this means that I'm the worst, or this is, no, it just means it's a happening. It's something that happened. It's an event.
Yes.
Events don't define your life. It's just a thing.
Yes.
Keep it moving, because today, right now, is the beginning of the rest of your life.
I love it. I love it. Kara, thank you so much for being on the show today. I want to bring up something that you said in Vegas that I will never forget. Ever, ever, ever. There's another level with your name on it.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember you did an exercise with us in the room and the whole room just lit up. You could feel the energy in the room, how excited everybody was. You had us all like in church, man. We were arms up. Oh, there's another level.
Yes.
For somebody who's out there who's like, I don't know what my next level is. I don't believe in my next level. I don't even know what's possible for me. What can you say to them to help them?
Your environment gonna help dictate a lot of that.
Yeah.
The company you keep, you could have a seed. Everything that seed will ever be is in that seed. Everything, whether it's it could be a vegetable, it could be a tree, it could be a plant, it could be a flower. Everything is in that seed. But if you put that seed on the windowsill, it's not going to get what it needs. It needs to be planted in the proper soil.
Mm-hmm.
It has to receive the nutrients, the nourishment, the water, you're right, sunlight for it to grow. The environment is everything. It's still a seed. But if I just set that seed on this desk in front of me and left it alone, it's still a seed.
Yeah.
But it's not planted in the right soil. It's not planted at all. So you want to make sure that your environment, everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, everybody's cheering you on, because sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes we do get lost,
Mm-hmm.
and you need somebody right there with you to help lift your head. Hold on, what is going on? Reach out to you like, man, what's going right? You're right. Fix that crown. Right. Get that, lift the chin, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And to just reaffirm you. And I tell people all the time, it's not that things will be okay. Things are okay.
Yeah.
It's no will be. That's future. When? If I tell you everything will be okay, you'll be thinking like, okay, when is will be? Like, right. Give me a time frame. Like, it's coming,
Yeah.
Okay is out there somewhere.
Right.
It kind of gives me this wiggle room of just, what do I do in the meantime? No, if I tell you everything is okay, it kind of plants your feet. Like,
Okay.
it is.
Breathe into that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I have you repeat that, like, everything is okay right now. If you look through any of these books, I don't care if it's the Bible, the Quran, everything is present tense.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no future. It is right now. All we have is right now. That's it. Like, even me saying that is already
It's already
done.
gone.
It's already gone. So right now, so for someone listening out there, you're plugged into Cindy, and that's a blessing, because you have her. And I always tell people, who's in your ear? Like, who has the microphone in your life? Who's in your ear? So listening to Cindy, listening to her guests, listening to her podcast, that uplifting message, that information. When someone call you out of the blue and invite you somewhere that is like empowering, or you come across all of a sudden, a podcast, right? That is uplifting and empowering. It's like, wow, well, maybe this is the beginning of my next level. I think I look at everything as possibility. Like, hey, what's going to happen if I don't go? If I don't go, then I'll stay the same. I'll still be in the house. I'll still be trying to figure it out. But just maybe when I show up, because 80% of success is in showing up. You got to show up. You got to show up.
Yes.
Nothing we say on here, we could talk. We could talk until your ears fall off. But until you decide to show up for yourself and for your own success and your own next level, you won't know what that is. And it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kara. I really appreciate you being here today.
I got to say this too.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. I love
my
that.
Hoodies. I have my athletic wear.
Yes, athletic wear. Oh my gosh. See, this is another project.
Another project. But you know what was funny? I walk around and I have my hoodie and everything on, and people are like, oh my God, I love the colors. It has the satin in the hood and it's hot pink. And people are like, oh my God, that's so cute. I'm like, it's my brand.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God, I want to get one, because I just want people to see it and feel the energy from it. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you can go to my website and get it.
Yes.
It's all about a vibe. It's all about the vibe.
Absolutely. And seriously, audience, super cute. But I'm not going to tell you that. You have to decide for yourself. So go to her website and see it and look for yourself and decide for yourself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kara, for being here today. I really appreciate your time, your words of wisdom, and your energy more than anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cindy. Do they know where to go get the hoodie?
You betcha. I'll get it on there. It'll be in the show notes.
Thank you.